Please make all the noise in the world for Dion Owen. Come on.
With that warm of a reception, I don't really have to do any jokes, but we're going to anyway. Guys, I'm so happy to be back in Montreal. I've been traveling a lot, and I use my bike in every country I go to, which means I don't abide by a lot of traffic laws internationally, okay? If it's safe, you go. That's the rules, right? It's a pedestrian bike rule. Safe, you go. And I was in London recently, and I thought it was fine. There was a red light, no one around. I went through the red light. Unbeknownst to me, there was 4 Bobby cops the other side of the road. They went, "Excuse me, sir. You're going to have to come over here." I said, "Oh no, I'm going to get in trouble." Started to steer towards him. Then I realized, I'm on a bike. I could just go. So I just steered away, and then I heard the funniest thing ever. He literally went, "No?" All right, then. And that's why we no longer respect that country, guys. I have to spend a lot of time in Scotland as well, like Scotland, but every kid can wheelie now. In every country, I don't know when this happened, but every 12-year-old child can do a wheelie on a bike. I don't know when it happened, but now I can't. I can't wheelie. I wish I could. I was in downtown Glasgow, and the young kid, did a wheelie on cobblestone, like 500-meter wheelie. Incredible. I can't even walk on cobblestone, okay? So I was so proud of this guy, I wanted to support him. So I looked at the little kid, he saw me, I said, "Hey, kid, nice wheelie." He looked over at me, and he went, "Fucking pay me then!" I was like, "Oh, God. 6-year-old child with a full beard. What happened, Scotland?" The other thing is, if you guys are a fan of zombie movies, I really encourage you to take late-night trains in Scotland. It's incredible. I don't know what happens when those people get drunk. They just become zombie Arnold Schwarzeneggers. It's amazing. You just hear this in the train the whole time. Just... That's every train in Scotland. And there's an amazing moment, because public transport's always an interesting time, and you get some weird moments. So I was on the train, and everyone was a little drunk, and we had this moment that unified the train, because this girl got on, and she was really drunk, and she's staggering in. She had one shoe on, and she was crying. Later in the ride, she got some other girl's shoe, and now that girl was crying, okay? It's just pandemonium, okay? But if you're a good person, someone's crying, you're going to try to consult them and see what's happening, see what's wrong. So one time we approached her, and we asked her why she's crying. And you know why she was crying? She was crying because she thought that she smelled like pee. Yeah. And she thought that she smelled like pee because she had pissed herself. All right? And this is an amazing moment of unification that happens, because this lady, we're all on board of trying to figure out what to do with piss lady. And I realized something. I realized something is that men and women, we treat each other very differently, okay? Women, you don't want other women, no matter what, even if you don't know them, to live the painful truth. Often you'll lie to them to try to keep them feeling okay. Men, we shoot straight, all right? Like if this guy shits his pants, I don't say, "Hey, you're faster." I go, "You got to get your life together, and this is why she has the kids." Okay, that's what I would do. I wouldn't support it. But what happened on this train? These kind of Glaswegian grandmotherly figures. They're so sweet. There's like 6 of them, and they pulled her aside. She's having a hard time. This is what she said to her. They said, "Look, darling, you don't smell like piss. You smell beautiful." That's not helpful in any way. Okay. She reeks of piss, and that's okay. It's not good, but that's what it is. Because that's good. Maybe if you had something like this, if you have a friend, maybe you had a female friend, she couldn't drive. She missed her driver test 15 times, she fails it. One time you get on a plane, you say, "You know what? You should try to fly this. You should get up there." It said Boeing on the side. I'm not sure if it was going to land anyway, okay? See, it's a 50-50. Or maybe if you have a friend, she's really entitled white lady, okay? She's in her mid-30s, and she's got some useless degree at a university, some entitled degree of some sort. She has no rhythm, no athletic skills, no dancing ability whatsoever. And you say, "You know what? You should break dance at the Olympics. You should shame your whole country. That's something that you should do." I feel like it would be great, guys. It is challenging out there, and I'm hard on the British people, but I have to spend a lot of time in Scotland, and I love it. I love Scotland. And it's hard, though, because I have to fly her at this festival. This festival is very challenging. You always have to fly her all the time, and it's very draining. And you don't want to be, as a man, it's not fun, and there's 5,000 different shows. You're begging people to come in. And so it's easy to fly her men. You make fun of them. Maybe they come in, right? But flying women, it's not fun. You guys don't like being approached by random men. I found that very quickly. A lot of men, they see me, they say, "Please leave me alone, budget Canadian Jason Momoa. Please back away slowly." But what I found when I was flying is the thing that really helped was to give women specific compliments. That was very helpful, to give them specific compliments. To be like, hey, your hair looks really nice. Or, wow, that's a really nice shirt you got on, right? But you don't want to be too specific. Like, hey, nice fingers. That wasn't a very helpful one. They go, they look great, but I don't like that he noticed. That's creepy as can be. So I was running a show, and I was out flying, trying to get people in the streets. There's a Canadian comedy showcase. And some of the other comics came out. I could see they had a frantic energy to them. They said, Dion, there's a problem. There's a problem at the show. I said, oh, it's the free fringe. The lights aren't working again. They said, no, lights are actually working. I said, oh, did a Scottish man overdose on heroin again? And they said, no. Hugh has sobered up and he would like to see the show. I said, okay, well, what's the exact problem? They said, there's a child in the audience. I was like, a child? They said, yeah. So I went and I checked the room. Sure enough, front row was a kid beside her parents. I said, guys, come on. How old is your kid? They said, this is Isabel and she's 9. I said, guys, come on. It's a comedy show. We have a clear guideline, suggested age 16 plus. They said, well, Isabel has the internet and she bought the tickets, so I don't know what you want to do. That's now, I guess, your move. How do you feel, man? So that put me in a tough spot, because you're a parent. I don't want to choose how your kid experiences reality. So I said to him, I guess you're parenting. Your choice. If you want them to experience sexuality through the lens of Canadian comedy, that's your call. I don't know if it's a good choice, but it's your call. But let me check with the comedians, the artists, because I want to make sure they're comfortable doing their material. I don't want to feel they have to censor anything. And so I pulled the comics over. I said, guys, let's have a quick meeting. How do you guys feel? How do you feel about a 9-year-old kid being in the room? They said, Dion, we have 7 people in there. We need that kid. I actually flyered her in here with the finger compliment. Okay, those nails didn't do themselves, man. Do you see those butterflies? Incredible. So it's weird, though, because it's a comedy show, which Oren will do there, is you try to get everyone to feel connected. That's the job of the host, is to make us all feel connected, and it's easier for us to laugh together. So if it's an odd thing, you got to address it. So I'm hosting the show, and I have to address it. So I have to say, okay, this is Isabel. She's 9. We're going to get a barometer where she's at as a kid. And we're going to ask her, what's the worst word you know, Isabel? Okay? Now, it's the UK. We could get a slur, okay? They have a lot of slurs. Sometimes they just shorten a country's name, and it's a hate crime. Okay? I don't know if you've been there. It's very awkward. So I hand her the microphone. Tension builds. And she goes, shit. We go, that's perfect. That's a perfect bad word for a little kid, okay? Now, I may have made some disparaging remarks against the English during this set, because I don't know if you've been to the UK, but they hate each other, okay? All right? Like, for example, when I landed in Scotland, literally the only question, they didn't have any follow-up questions. This is what they said. They said, what do you think of the English? I said, they're cunts. And they went, you're allowed in. That's fine. He understands. So I told this joke at the show. So I was excited because I've just dropped a C-bomb in front of a little kid. I'm very excited. So at the end of the show, I say, Isabel, you've been a great audience member. You laughed at the good jokes. You didn't laugh at the crap ones. I think you did an awesome job. So as a reward, you get to say the worst word you heard here tonight. You can't get in trouble. Your parents brought you here. So I hand her the microphone. Very exciting. And she literally just goes, marriage. Like, what? We made that look really bad, man. What happened? And the best part about this story is that I'm at that festival for like a whole month, so I run into audience members again sometimes. And I actually ran into that family again, and Isabel. And they pulled me aside and said, Dion, come hang out. And they said, Isabel had the best week of her life. She's been at school telling everyone she got the biggest laugh at a professional comedy show. And it was true. It hurt a little. It hurt. I didn't want to correct them. I was like, it was a free show by donation, okay? But yes, she did good. But this is where it got really hard, though, is this is what I felt bad, because they said, now Isabel wishes to be a professional comedian, and that's the day I destroyed a child's life. That was the end. There's no coming back from that, man. Now, the other thing I noticed being in Britain a lot is, I don't know if you guys have been there, but I noticed that British women wore a lot of makeup. Right, and I'm not judging. And one of the weird things, I was doing this bit, and one time a Spanish lady just got up from the audience and just went, Doritos! I was like, that's not appropriate, but very funny. But thank you for that. I wasn't going to say it, and I'm a little mean, but thank you for doing that. So I get it, right? Because like, I'm not judging them, right? Societal pressures, your face, your choice. But I was confused as to who were they trying to impress? Like, not British men. You've seen them, right? They're not... Shortest meeting of all time was when they had to cast the orcs for Lord of the Rings. That was not a long meeting. Ironically, British men without makeup. But I had to go as well to the Netherlands a lot. And the Netherlands, the Dutch are incredibly confident. I don't know if you've met a Dutch person. They're the most confident people in the world. It's incredible. And it's sometimes feels a little unfounded. But I was in Amsterdam, so it's a good city. He's been to the Netherlands. He knows what I'm talking about. And I had a friend, and he's took me around the Netherlands. Great, we're in Amsterdam, and he pulls me aside. He goes, "Oh, you can see here. This is 16th century building, incredible architecture. Look at how it's made, unbelievable. This is the golden age of the Dutch." And I tried to make a joke. I said, "Oh, you guys peaked early." And then he literally just said, "No, we're still peaking." I was like, I don't think you've been relevant in 400 years, man. It's okay. The Dutch, man. But the other one was crazy. This is true. You can look this up. They have a motto that happens now for the British tourists. If you fly like Ryanair, the little ad will come up. It says, "British men go home." And it's a slogan that happens in a lot of Amsterdam and in like Leiden, all the beautiful little towns, because the English people are such bad tourists. The lads. They get drunk, they destroy everything, they piss in canals. So literally, the Dutch are like, just go home. They have signs that says, "British men go home." And I was sad by this, though. This saddened me, because I was sad for every country that had been colonized, you know? Because India's out there just thinking, we could have put up a sign. They would have gone home. Why didn't we think of this? I do like traveling, but I do find like, I don't know if you guys can relate, but it's easy to offend people. I don't want to offend people. Easy way to offend a person, like, don't mix them up. Don't mix up a Scottish guy as an English guy, right? Don't mix up a Canadian guy as an American guy, and never mix up an Australian guy as a decent human being. They're not good. They're bad people. A weird one. There's people I really like, but I always insult. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these people, but do you guys also find all German men creepy, or is it just me? What happened there? Why are they like, this one's going to be weird? It's just every time one's born. And they're nice men, but they're creepy, and they don't mean to be. But they do weird things. I have a good friend. His name is Klaus, and he's a nice guy, but he does creepy things. One time we're outside of a bar, and a beautiful girl goes by. Now, we all know if an attractive person goes by, you'll nudge your friend. You'll be like, that gentleman does his squats. That girl's beautiful. But as this poor girl walks by, he literally just goes, "Yum." Slow your roll there, German Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know if we would have said that if Cake walked by, man. That's a weird thing to say. The other hard thing on my travels, and I felt it more right now, honestly, in NDG, I felt anywhere else, is the cost of living is getting insane, guys. Every country I went to, nobody could afford anything. Groceries were too pricey, rent was too pricey. So, guys, I think we as a civilization, we as a globe, we got to do a classic uprising. We got to do a classic, like, proletariat overthrowing the bourgeois. That's right, guys, right? And so this is one of the few times you're going to look to the French people for inspiration, okay? Because they know how to revolt. They're doing a revolution right now. They don't even know why. They're unsure. The baguettes are the inappropriate size. Too long, too short, who knows? No more working. So I'm always inspired by that. But I did a little bit of research because I generally am a little worried. I was like, let's read about the big French Revolution. If you're not familiar, I found out they invented the guillotine because they want to publicly execute the rich people, all the aristocracy, the bureaucracy, the landlords, right? They even executed their kings and queens, their monarchs. They publicly executed their monarchs. Yeah, but I was sad because I thought about it. You realize that after everything that those poor peasants did to better their lives, in the end, they were still French. So that's not good. Sacre bleu, we should have thought about this. Why we're so smug? But they got nice. They got a nice country. I went to the Louvre. That was nice. I had a Canadian friend went to the Louvre. And the problem was, though, is cobblestone, in theory, it looks pretty. If you walk on it, it sucks, okay? So he ended up getting all these blisters on his feet. He had very blistered feet. And when we got to the Louvre, he couldn't really walk very well. And he said, "Dion, how long is the walking tour?" I said, "It's approximately 5 hours." He said, "Oh, no, I'm never going to get to see all this cool stolen shit." But I had this weird moment I'm going to share with you guys. If you guys are ever in a situation, especially with a friend at a museum, they will just give you a wheelchair. I was really surprised because I just said, "Can I have a wheelchair?" And they're like, "Here you go." I was like, "You want to see a handicap card, or do you want to like punch his legs or anything? Is there anything? You want to check him?" No? He's just going to assume he's handicapped? Okay, let's go. So I pushed my heterosexual buddy from college around the Louvre, and it might have been the most romantic day of my life. Okay, it was just, this is incredible, man. But it got awkward because I didn't realize this was going to happen. Every time I pushed him around, every time he passed another person in a wheelchair, he would just turn and give him a little nod. I don't know if we should do this, man. It's hard. I like Canadians, but I don't know if you've traveled with them. There's a quote that we'll always say. It's annoying from our country, and it just rings true. Every Canadian goes like this. They go, "It's not cold. I'm Canadian, but and it's not how the human body works. Your nationality doesn't change the laws of thermodynamics. That's not how it works." Okay. So Josh was visiting me, and he looked cold. He's a bald man, and I had a toque, so I offered it to him in good gesture. I said, "Would you like to borrow my toque?" And he responded, "Dion, you don't have lice, do you?" I was like, "Josh, you don't have hair, do you?" So I don't know. This is your moment to throw rocks in bald houses. I don't know what. This is akin to an Indian man being worried the British food is too spicy. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, man. And I had another weird moment. I had another hard moment. And I try not to judge people, but especially if you're buying something or a service, we sometimes judge people based on their appearance. So recently I went to get a haircut, and I went to the barber, and he was bald. So I said, "I don't think you got the credit, man. I don't think you pull this off." Like, it's like if you go to a Chinese restaurant and every one of the cooks is white, you're like, this is not going to be good. For sure. For sure. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, the cooks are all black, that's 50-50. I don't do the racial math, but that's how it works, guys, okay? But the hard part was I had to get surgery one time. I was very scared. Surgery is very scary. And when I found the doctor, I met him. He only had one arm. Yeah. And I couldn't go through with it. I couldn't go through with it because I didn't feel like I was in safe hand. But that brings up this topic, is that bald men, they're the last unprotected demographic. Nobody gives a shit about bald men. Not a single. The bald men don't even stand up for themselves. Nobody cares. No young white lady has a petition being like, "He's follically challenged, leave him alone. You have hair privilege." Nobody gives a shit about bald men, okay? I've done jokes, and my favorite is if like a bald guy's incognito with a hat on. One time I was doing this joke, and this lady just pulled her husband's hat off to be like, "He's also bald, look at him, laugh." And it's hard because we're a society. We're progressing. We're getting better, right? We don't make fun of everyone, right? Like we don't make fun of fat people. We don't make fun of gay people. We don't make fun of retarded people. But you can openly make fun of bald men, and it's weird. It's a double standard, right? Because you make fun of one bald woman and you get slapped at the Oscars. Right? Thank you. That was a good joke. Thank you. All right. So I've incorporated some silly improvised songs into my show because it's been fun. Woo, I don't woo yet. It could be shit. We'll find out. I like your vibe, though, sir. I think we met one other time. Have we not?
If we did, I don't remember.
Just in our dreams. Okay. What was your name, my friend?
Adam.
Adam. Thanks for coming, Adam. And what was your dream as a kid? Do you have a dream job or dream life that you wanted, or dream something?
I wanted to be a baseball player.
I want to be a baseball player. And what do you do now?
Not a baseball player.
All right. All right. We'll see if we can make something out of that. The not a baseball player. When I was just a little boy, they took me to the Olympic Stadium and I saw the Montreal Expos. They were not a very good team. We didn't even have grass. They had to try to use AstroTurf. They skinned up their knees. We had one good player, please, and he was a large dude, and I think his son played on the team as well or something. Sorry? I don't know a lot about baseball. It's Canada. Nobody gives a shit. These are like all the facts I currently know. Is there was a team here. It didn't last long. But that didn't stop me that I wasn't that tall or athletic. I was like, I'm gonna throw a ball. Just fucking look at me. What do you do now?
I'm a consultant.
He's a consultant, the least interesting job. I have a joke about this later. You're not a bit of a slob. I'm so sorry. You seem very nice, and I'm just making fun of you. That's what you have to do. But baseball is a shitty sport. Why did you want to do that, boo? Why did you want to play baseball as a Canadian?
My parents put me in baseball.
And was it fun?
It was all right.
It was all right. You didn't need no passion tonight. It's okay. You don't need any really think that's good at all. It's just all right, baby. Just all right. That's what I'm looking for in a fucking wife. It's just all right. I feel like your job's just all right as a consultant. How would you? It's better than baseball. How would you rate your consulting job?
Like a 7.
That's just all right. That's just all right. And that's the thing we all learned tonight is it's just all right. Because, guys, you don't always get your dreams. Sometimes it may seem that you're not gonna fulfill everything, and that's alright, 'cause it's just alright. It's just alright, yeah, it's just alright, it's just alright. That's our silly song. I think that's very weird. The funniest part is I literally have a bit about this now. But it's hard because jobs are weird now, right? It's a weird time for jobs because I don't know what your job is, and I do this crowd work a lot, and whenever somebody goes, exactly, why are we allowed to have that job? This 40 years ago would be like, you don't get to do this anymore. What is a consultant? Because hard crowd work, well, what is that job? One time I did crowd work, a guy had a normal job. I said, what do you do for work? He said, I'm a lumberjack. I said, yes, a thing, right? A thing, a practical thing. But then a lady in the back row, she went, yuck. I said, are you okay, dear? And she said, yeah, but I used to date a lumberjack. And then she was sitting beside a guy, so I assumed. I said, is that the lumberjack there? And she said, no, this is new wood. Incredible line, man. It's an extremely good line, man. And it'd be easier if I was a comedian a few years ago. It'd be much easier because I could just do crowd work. It'd be the same every time. I go, what do you do for work? You go, I'm a farmer. I go, what do you do for work? I go, I'm also a farmer. Say, what do you do for work? You're like, I have sex with the farmers. It's all there is to do. Farm and hump farmers. That's the whole thing. I do get angry sometimes. We all do. It happens. I had a weird one, though. If you ever get angry and realize you're the bad guy, that's never a good situation, okay? Because one time I got bitten by a mosquito, and it got away, and I wanted to get mad. But then I realized that mosquito now has HPV. So it's probably madder than I am. That wasn't a good time for the mosquito. And Canada's all right, but there is a part of Canada that sucks. Does anyone know what the worst city in Canada is? Does anyone know what the worst city? Wow, that was quick. Holy shit. Fucking give that man a free ticket or something. It is Winnipeg, my favorite. That's way fast. I can't believe, dude, that's amazing. Sorry, Winnipeg, but it sucks. Like, I do this joke overseas sometimes. I was in Germany. I was like, what's the worst city? They went, Winnipeg. That place is scheiße. Horrible place. It's just windy all the time. There's nothing. The best part about Winnipeg is in the morning, you get in the shower, have a hot shower, and you go, this is it. This is good as Winnipeg's going to get. It's a horrible place. It is. It's a horrible place. And they're so nice. They're so nice, but it's awful. Then it's okay. And I know it sucks because this is the official motto. You ready? The official motto? Winnipeg. Cooler than you think. It's the saddest city dating profile of all time. It's brutal. You guys know what the official bird of Winnipeg is? It's a mosquito with HPV. That's the official bird of Winnipeg, man. And it's nice. I do like being back in Canada. I have trouble following the news and watching the States. That's not fun at all, right? You guys just death watching the States. And did you guys realize that they used to have, it's so weird, their country's so weird, they used to have a basketball team, and it was called the Washington Bullets. And they realized that was inappropriate. They didn't feel it represent their country, so they renamed them, and they're now called the Washington School Shootings. So that's a good fix your gun policy. I'll fix that joke, okay? But it's tough because they do make good movies. Like half the global culture is related to American cinema because they make a fucking banging movie, okay? They make a really good movie. And I watched one of my favorite American movies a few years ago. It was called The Green Book. If you guys didn't see it, really good. Deals with racism in the Southern United States. One of my favorite movies. But we're in a weird time in life, for me anyway. I often will like something, and I have to go online to make sure other people like the thing. I could be literally eating a sandwich. I go, this sandwich is incredible. I go online, they go, that sandwich sucks. I didn't know. Doesn't even have Bob's bread. Okay, I didn't know. But after I watched The Green Book, I was like, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. What do other people think of this incredible movie? And went online, these are my favorite reviews. They're still up there. One guy wrote this. He wrote, Green Book is the only Academy Award-winning movie I've liked. It changed not only the way I live my life, but the way I treat people. 3 stars. What? What are you going to do for more stars? I don't know. Changed your life? Next guy's review was better, though. I don't know how. I was like, let's see what the follow-up is. Next guy's review was this. The book wasn't even green. 1 star. I think you entirely missed the point of the movie. The other thing, coming up, we got the American election, so I was reading. Also not good. The KKK is making a comeback in the States. Not fun at all. And if you guys don't know what the leader calls himself, he calls himself the Grand Wizard. Okay? What an asshole. Does he put that on a resume? On the CV, they show up, they go, okay, Chuck, You wrote down here you were a grand wizard. Could you elaborate on job duties? I guess summoning spells or cat creatures or something, man? And the guy goes, well, no, actually. Consider myself more of a motivational speaker. Motivational speaker for hate and intolerance. And they go, oh my God, Chuck, that's actually just what we're looking for at Bell Canada. So, you got a job? Let's talk! Thank you. And I do have to spend a lot of time in coffee shops working on stupid things, and I like the organic coffee shops where it's just a guy who looks like me with a man bun, he charges you $8 for coffee. Those are my favorite places to go, okay? And I love it because they always have weird stuff. They got to sell weird stuff to stay afloat. I was in one the other day working on a script I was working on, and there was a book on the wall. It was called The Alternatives to Capitalism, and it was for sale for $45. So I stole it. And that's a solid alternative, right? And I have been working on a script. It's kind of exciting. So I've had an interesting last 10 years, and so I've been writing diligently, and I've been pitching it to some streaming platforms. I'm loosely negotiating with Netflix right now. I didn't want to break any exciting news, but yeah, very. Thank you. So keep your eyes out. This is the working title, just the working title, though. It's the working title of my movie is My Life Has Been Easy and Everything's Been Handed to Me, a White Man's Story. So, we don't even feel grief. It's amazing, guys. Yeah, it's a weird one out there. And there we go. She's a little slow, but that's okay. Why you get sad? My go-to comfort food, personally, if I get sad, is pierogies. That's what I do when I get sad, having a hard time. They're heavy. They sit in there. You have a nap after. But I went to go buy some pierogies last time, and it said something on the bag that made me uncomfortable immediately. It said this. It said, "Now made with real potatoes." Now? What's cheaper than potatoes? I guess you could have put on there now with not sand. I feel like that would have been a fine thing to have. And so I was trying to do some self-medicating. Went to get some beer. Beer's always good to numb yourself, right? That's your self-medication. So I was like, get some beer, I'll feel okay. I went to get this beer, and on the beer, it said proudly made with domestic and imported ingredients. It's all matter in the known universe. I don't know if this is anything to brag about. And I tried to make the world better. I got myself a sociology degree. I was like, this will educate me, and it'll be good, and I'll feel better. And it usually just made me more depressed. But the hard part was if you don't know what a sociologist does, neither do I, okay? But it's good in that if you get an arts degree or a science degree, usually it'll be rooted in either Latin or Greek. That's where the origins of the words are. So mine's a Greek-rooted degree, which is very cool. So the first part, sochi, means to take, and the last part, ology, means a useless degree. And that was nice that they really just included that in me so I would know what's happening. But I don't know. I did get some progressive ideas after university, and maybe you don't agree with them, though. Like, I don't know. Do you guys think we should still get sick days off of work? Do you guys still think we should get sick days off of work? I don't. No, I don't. I think we should get health days. Yeah? Just phone up the boss, say, hey, buddy, I actually feel amazing today. I'm not coming in. It's a better world. That's the thing we want. And it's tough, man, because it's a weird world right now. I was out the other day, and I was in the park, and I saw a man with his dog off leash and his kid on leash. Like, this is not good. Not a good world. And I don't think we should test cosmetics on animals. I don't think we should test cosmetics on animals because I think that animals are sexy enough already. I don't think we need to do anything to butter them up. Save cosmetics for what they're really made for: ugly people, British men. That's what I feel. And people aren't all bad, but they do weird things. Like often people have good intentions, but it's weird. So these girls, I was at a festival and they came up to me, two lovely young girls trying to make the world better, and they said, "Excuse me, sir. We're selling these glow sticks and these flashing lights to raise money for people with epilepsy." The irony was lost on them somehow. I guess we'll do another song here, guys. We'll do another song. Hey, what was your name? Jack. How would you fix the world, Jack? What would be your strategy?
It's a complicated answer.
I need a simple one I can write a song about. So if you can do that, Jack.
Let's start with voting in Kamala Harris.
Voting in Kamala Harris. All right. She also is an extension of the military-industrial complex. Is better than Trump, but we'll say that Kamala Harris fixes the world. Okay. This is. This song is gonna be a hard one on me, guys. All right, this is a backflip 360 here. When you look at the world, it can be very scary. Those politicians, it's so very hairy out there. They don't seem to have your best interest in mind, not yours and not mine. They seem to care more about their bank accounts, their yachts. They just wanna flaunt them out. And I ain't got no solution to the current problem. But when you only got two choices, do you think that's really gonna solve them? She's slightly better, or okay. She's slightly better, or okay. That's our politicians today. They're just okay. They'll say what they gotta say to get reelected. They're not going to change anything because she's in the system of power. She's technically slightly better, but this is not our finest hour. None of them are good. They wouldn't do what you would. To get to that level of power, you have to get corrupted. That's the only way, because it's a horrible system. We're all stuck within it. There's no solution. You're fucked and you shouldn't have handled me. Now we got a sad song. This is your fault. No one can sing along. We had that nice song about the consultant. It would have been a much better song, but now we got this sad piece of shit. I gotta find a happy ending, or at least a really grim, funny one. That's really hard. That's why I'm talking right now to think about something to make this better. I don't have a solution to all this pollution, but an easy way to make it a little better is be nice to each other. Except for the politicians, you can be mean to them because they're pieces of shit. We gotta behead them. So let's get a guillotine made of bicycle wheels. It'll be obscene. We'll mow them all down and it'll be healthy and green because we won't use any petroleum to kill them all. And throw them in the ocean because the ocean will take organic matter, not plastic pollution. I hope you feel better about the things and that electing Kamala, even though I'm sorry, but we're getting Pollier and they're also getting Trump, guys. I'm so sorry. It's not going to be good, guys. It's going to be a hard 5 years, okay? That's right. He's getting an extra year out of him. That's our... Oh, man, the improvised songs, guys, they're a gamble. Sometimes they're fun. Sometimes they're just brutal, okay? I don't know what to tell you, guys. I don't know what to tell you. All right, we'll talk a little bit about a nice situation and bring us some hope. So I did recently find love. I met a girl about a year ago. I proposed. She's amazing. And it's really nice because when you find love, it's good. Don't applaud. It's not that good. It's really good. No, she's the best. She's my favorite person. And the nice part is when you find somebody, it's good to keep it fun. I think it's very important. It's a partner, you want to be fun and silly and play. And so we bug each other all the time. It's really good. Our favorite is try to surprise each other in public. That's our favorite thing. And she has an incredible sense of humor. That's one of the things I love the most about her. So we like to tease and bug each other. And if I can ever surprise her in public and she doesn't know, it's my favorite thing. So recently we're at a local print shop and she's working on something behind me. I see her at the corner of my eye and I sort of sneak over and I'm like, oh, I'm going to surprise her, right? So I give her a grab on the hip and butt and I can feel she jumps. I'm like, I got her really good, right? And I like, I got her. And then I turn and it's not her. Okay, and this is a really hard moment. It's not a good time. But as a comedian, I'm like, I got to think fast, okay? So I've just groped a stranger, okay? It's not good. So I got to explain it real quick. Got to give her first step. Okay, I turn around, I go, I'm sorry I groped you. I wanted to grope another lady. Okay, that's not exactly the best. No, it wasn't a great one. Step one should have been remove my hand. You know what I mean? That really should have been step one, okay? But this is what happens when you have a good partner. They save you. Even when you mess up, they save you. And I'm looking around for her because she's going to explain the situation. It's our game, blah, blah, blah. It's going to make total sense. And she's going to get me out of this. I'm not going to get in trouble. This lady's not going to phone 911, okay? So I'm looking around. It's very uncomfortable, right? There's tension in the room. And I'm looking around. And I can see her. And then all of a sudden I see her over the aisles. I'm like, okay, finally, she's there. I can see her. She's going to explain everything. So I point her out. I go, oh, that's my girlfriend. That's who I was trying to grope. And then she looks over and she goes, oh, I don't know that man. Honey, it's not a good time for a sense of humor. It's a bad moment for him. I do feel men and women, different experiences, though, for sure. I've come to that conclusion on my journeys. I feel like women, this is best surmise of this. If you guys are stuck, really weird time to laugh on that one. I feel like women, if you guys are stuck in an alley at night walking through it, it's uncomfortable, and I can see your brains be like, please don't get murdered. Please don't get murdered, right? And I see men walking down those same alleys like, please don't murder anyone. Please don't murder anyone. Stats. It's not good, guys. We're the worst gender. Don't want to tell you that, but that's how it works. And I do have a nice mom, though. That helps. It's always good if you have a good mother figure as a man. It really helps. I have a wonderful mom. But I've realized about mom. I'm older, and I figured out that your mom's job is to love you and not understand you. That is her job. No matter what, it just is never going to totally... Girls nodding hard back there. It's nice. They love you and they'll never get you. So my mom, she's always just worried. They're worried about you financially. They want to make sure your money's good. So the first tour I did of the UK and Europe, I got to bike everywhere. I headlined all these shows. I told my mom how excited I was. And I wasn't getting paid a lot. So her first thing was like, how much money are you making? And it wasn't great. And so she's always worried about jobs. And it's so funny because sometimes she'll say like, hey, doesn't your friend Frank? He works as a janitor. Have you ever thought about that? I've seen you sweep. You'd be incredible. I don't know. It's amazing. And so my favorite one of this, though, it was such a touching, weird moment. She had an ex-girlfriend who used to work at a comedy club. And when my mom and her first met, it was a very funny experience because my mom pulled her aside. She said, it's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so many lovely things about you. So you work at a comedy club. That means you see a lot of comedy. And so do you think Dion has a chance? With condemnation there, Mom, but that's nice. But the nice thing was the ex, she responded the nicest thing. She said, I wouldn't be with him unless I thought he did. Right? Which sounds so sweet. But I was worried that bitch was a gold digger, so she's out of here. She's gone. Right? You gotta love me while I'm headlining at a bike shop, okay? You can't. Another time. The other hard one that happens sometimes is as you get older, your parents sometimes get a divorce. Love doesn't always come together. It doesn't always work. It's hard. You can try. And if your parents divorce, I feel like there's not a magical time, but a better time. I feel like 8 is a sweet spot to have your parents divorce because you don't really know what's going on. You get 2 Christmases. My parents divorced when I was in almost 30, and I didn't get 2 Christmases. I just get 2 grave sites. It's not a great. Yeah, your parents are immortal. It's fine, guys. It's not good. It's not good. And we did have a hard one because we did lose my dad during the pandemic. Well, we didn't lose him. He died, which is much worse. It's way harder. It'd be great. But he's behind the couch. You don't have to be sad anymore. Look, there he is. Why was he hiding? I don't know why. It's good. Here he is. But it's tough. And when people go, there's some things they don't have to experience. I'm grateful my dad never has to see another YouTube commercial. Okay? Because I don't know what happened, but YouTube commercials make me miss commercials from the 90s. Those were, how am I nostalgic for commercials? This sucks, capitalism. I can't believe you did this to me. What the fuck, man? Because like 90s commercials, they were so straightforward. Some guy would come on, he'd go, I'm Bob. This is Bob's bread. That's an attractive man and an attractive woman eating Bob's bread. Bob's bread. That was it. That was the whole pitch. Makes sense. Pretty straightforward. You might get laid if you eat this bread. That's the whole thing. But YouTube commercials, what happened, man? Maybe you fire on a David Attenborough documentary. Incredible, right? He's so wonderful. He comes on. I'm Sir David Attenborough. Perhaps you're watching this documentary because you'd like to see a 90-year-old man with joy in his heart. Well, you're in for a treat because we're heading to the jungles of Borneo. And we're going to examine nature's clown, the chimpanzee. Oh, there we can see him right over. Bro, you want to get cryptocurrency? Just play this internet game. You have 15 sources of revenue, okay? It's like no, I would take some Bob's bread, but I don't like this at all. It's brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. And social media is rough, man. Social media is rough. And I feel bad for parents because you guys, a lot of you in here probably have kids. It's got to be so hard to be a parent now. Used to be easy. You go, hey, don't die and come eat food at 5. That was your whole job as a parent. It's really straightforward. And now I don't envy you because you got to say, okay, kids, so this is the internet. It's going to sexualize you like way too early. It's going to try to commodify your very existence and sell you everything and consume every ounce of your second and soul in life. Do you want a peanut butter sandwich? Like that seems harder to do. And so I'm grateful. I'm stuck on the internet because as an artist now, I just have to pander to this bullshit. I have to, the altar of Instagram. I got to do it and it sucks. But I'm grateful because I have some friends who they don't need it, so they leave social media. I think it's a lot better. They leave social media. But I've noticed a very funny phenomenon that whenever these people have a kid, right back on there immediately. And I'm grateful because as soon as they start posting pictures of their kid, a little baby, I go, oh my God, unfollow. I don't need to see I don't need to see your ugly child. You destroy your vagina on your own time, lady. All right? Oh, man. And the last thing, because the internet's changing, man. It's changing a lot. And it's going to be interesting because social media is, I think, it's the Oberus, the snake eating itself. Because it can't, when AI's there, you don't know what's real. So I think we might check out. It's kind of cool. And then one of the last things I think that will stay is the email. The email is a great way to get to connection, okay? So be very, very careful with your email. Because if you give it to a company that doesn't, it's not good. I had to buy a Pizza Hut pizza, and they got my email. And now they contact me every day, okay? Like we're best friends. But my favorite one, they sent me an email one time. They said, hey, it's Mother's Day coming up. Why don't you treat her to a Pizza Hut pizza? And I was creeped out. I was like, how do they know? How do they know that my mom loves to get diarrhea? How do they know that? Pizza Hut. Okay, we're going to do another song. Does anyone want a song written about them? You any volunteers? Otherwise, I'll conscript another person. We had one Woo back there? Woo? Excellent. What was your name, my friend? Roger. And what do we want to know about Roger? Roger, unless it's the darker spiders, we can't do it. Well, what are you scared of? I did the Fringe, so this show I did 24 times. I had to write so many songs about the dark. My favorite, though, one time, the lights cut out. And I was like, I'm a magician! So, Roger, what are you scared of? Or what were you scared of as a kid?
I don't know. I was scared of much.
Man, Roger's life sounds great. This guy's electrical system's fucked. Can you give me anything, Roger? It's very hard to write a song about nothing. But the concept of reality. Sorry?
I was scared of my elder brother.
Your elder brother, okay. And what was it about him that scared you?
He would put me on the floor and say that I was under arrest by Imperial Star Destroyers.
So your brother was a prick and you're dumb. Okay, so we got this down. And where's that accent from, Roger?
Dutch.
Arrogant bastard! Arrogant bastard. When Star Wars came out, it was the worst day of my life. I wanted to end it all with a shitty Dutch knife, because they got weird cheese knives that aren't very sharp at all. So he couldn't end his life when he heard that call. He heard the knock on the door. His older brother came, and his life, it would never be the same. He went, pew, 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 I got a lightsaber! And he went, we're gonna play Jedis? He's like, no, I'm the ship. And you're like, what? You're the Star Destroyer ship? You're like, yeah, I'm the ship. You're like, what kind of bullying is this? How can we have normal bullying? Can't you be like the Hulk or something normal and beat me up? He's like, no, I'm a ship. And then he would lie on me and he broke my hip. And as a Dutch man, we had very good health care, so it helped a lot. And I got that hip repaired. But then I got home, got out of that wheelchair, and it turns out my brother, he didn't really care. He went, I'm still a Star Destroyer and I'm 17 years old. You're 15 and I feel so bold. I'm gonna squish you. Did he squish you, Roger?
Yes.
He squished you again. It's gonna be squish on the ground, you silly fiend. And then did he do anything else weird? Not that weird, because it would be really creepy. If you got like Anne Frank Dutch molested, it's not going to be a good line for me at all. Is there anything else? That can't get any funnier than that. I'm sorry. He pretended he was an Imperial Star Destroyer. The lesson we've learned is that everybody's a dick, even your family can be a piece of shit. Your older brother's supposed to be kind and guide you through life. And was he the best man at your wedding? No, he ain't gonna meet his wife, because he's an Imperial Star Destroyer. Still, he broke down the curtains and it was quite the thrill. He punched out the groom and he fought the wife, and he went rum, 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 even though there's no noise in space. I can't believe he pretended to be an Imperial Star Destroyer, guys. That is the dumbest and funniest thing I've heard in a long time. That's great. So we got a little bit more internet stuff, and then we're in the home stretch. Your phone will always tell you what you're up to now. If you're watching a lot of Imperial Star Destroyer stuff or whatever you're up to. So I checked my phone the other day and said, Dion, you've been on YouTube for 9 hours. And I was like, oh no, I could have got 15 more hours in. What was I doing? I could have got a few more clicks in, man. And the other one that I do like is the video chats. That's been very helpful. If you travel, life's now a global, and you can't always connect, can't see them in person, so I always video chat with my mom. And it's always hard now because I always ask you, whatever you use, ask you to rate the quality of the call. You know, between a 1 to 5 star. And I recently had one, and I rated the call, I gave it 1 star, and then they asked me to describe what it was. And I said, my mom hurt my feelings, and I didn't feel understood. She didn't listen to me at all. And they're like, well, nothing we can do about that. I was like, oh, damn. The other funny one that I'm not a huge fan of is a thumbs up. What happened there, guys? Like, no one has any time to write you the most basic thing. And it's fine if you go, hey, you want to meet at noon at the coffee shop? Thumbs up. Perfect. It's a perfect time. But one time I wrote to my brother, I said, hey, what do you want to do with Dad's ashes? And he went, it's not a helpful one at all. I would appreciate something a little different. I do try to do art, and it's hard, man. It's really hard. And I have a weird moment because I have my home screen is my QR code, and that never feels good. Or whatever your home screen is on your phone, that really reflects where you're at, and hopefully it's something nice. And I had this really heavy moment because I go around everywhere, and it sucks. It feels very disingenuous, but I'll often be like, let's scan this and to follow my thing when you're like talking to people. So I had a really good show in Glasgow, and I was at the festival, and after the show, this really nice Scottish guy came up and he said, I loved your set, you're great. I'd love to see you again. So I pulled out my phone, and there's my QR code. I'm ready to scan it. And I realized, though, because he pulled out his phone, and it was a picture of his beautiful family. No, they were Scottish. They were horrendous looking. And I was like, is that the 6-year-old kid who threatened me? What happened? What's going on? But that's the hard part, man. I got to do the QR code. Because art's in a weird spot, man. It's very hard. Because you got to commodify everything. And I'm in a weird spot, too. Because can you separate art from the artist? We've done it for some people. There's some people we've done that for. Okay? For example, like Michael Jackson. We've kind of done it. You hear that come on the radio, just be like, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place. I don't care what you did. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, man, a lot of kids suffered, but my God, that's a banger. Because we've made other choices, though, right? R. Kelly, nobody believes they can fly. Not anymore. P. Diddy, he did it, okay? The hardest one, though, is there's gray zone sometimes. Like, I had an idol, somebody I really like, a big Beatles fan, and a big John Lennon fan, and I actually found out, did you guys know that he was married twice? And he actually hit his first wife. And I was shocked. I was angry, because I felt like he should have saved that energy for his second wife. Now, some of you are laughing, because you have a sense of humor, okay? And some of you are going, is he advocating for John to hit Yoko? Oh, no. No. It's hard. I want to make you laugh, and sometimes people get offended, and that's not my goal. You can't make everyone laugh. You can't please everyone. And so I had a hard moment, because I have offended people sometimes. It's not my goal. And I had a show one time, and after the show, this old Mexican man with a very weathered face and these kind eyes, he was offended. No, it was a white lady, and she was a bit of a cunt. Come on, you guys know. You guys live in the world I live in, right? It's not. We know what's happening. But I'm willing to listen. And so she came up to me after the show, and this is what she said. She said, "You lost me. You lost me when you made fun of the Germans." I went, what? Pretty sure I did an Indian accent in that set, but that was the line. Okay, what was the exact problem? Let's hear it out. What exactly did I say? She said, you called them all creepy, and that's racist. You called them all creepy, that's racist. I said, okay, I heard you. Now let's have a dialogue. Let's get some facts out of the way, okay? Very importantly, fact number 1, they are a little creepy. Okay? The global consensus on that one. I'm not in the minority on this one. But I guess really more importantly, fact number 2, they are not technically a race despite their best effort in the 40s. So that is on you guys. I do some positive stuff though. I do bike a lot, and I like biking. You can make the world a little bit better. So like for me personally, I do the kids' bike stuff for free wherever I go, because I treat it like a drug dealer. I got our kid a free bike, and gave him some drugs too. No, but I do. I treat kids' bikes just like a drug dealer, right? I give them a really good one for free the first hit, then I got them for life. Okay. You get a kid on a good bike, you get him. Okay? But it's hard, and I did a cross Canada bike ride. It's very cool, and I used a program. If you guys have ever heard of it, it's a weird name, but it's called a warm showers. Okay, and it's horrendously named. I get it. It's a website for cyclists to stay with another cyclist to have a warm shower, and they're like, let's name it like a website where men pee on each other. Let's see if there's any. Maybe there'll be some crossover. Who knows? They're really desperate to not be cold anymore. But I had a wonderful journey on this one, and one of my favorite moments though is my dad, my late father, was on there, and he had a very funny interaction. It was actually the last guy he hosted. This was this guy's first place he had stayed. So my dad, like myself, he liked to help people, like to fix things, and so there was always dilapidated, especially because of me. There's a lot of dilapidated bicycles all over the yard. Okay, so this guy very hesitantly installed this thing, and he gets on this program, and he's like, okay, I'm going to stay with a stranger. So he ends up showing this guy's house. He's never stayed with anyone before. It's like a foggy day on Vancouver Island, and as he approaches the house, he just sees all these dilapidated, rusty bicycles. He goes, this is how I die. This is it. It's not worth the warm shower. I could have had a cold shower and lived. Okay, what am I doing? But one of my favorite stories is I did the cross Canada ride. It was very cool. That's how I got to Montreal. And it's one of the most magical journeys. And there was a movie I had just watched called Into the Wild. Into the Wild is a very useful movie because capitalism kind of breaks us down. It's very hard to get to do what you want in life. And capitalism makes it very hard. And so this guy goes into the wild. But there's a quote that happiness is only real when shared. Okay, and that sat with me because I had this one time I stayed with this host and she gave me a handwritten note of how to get to a secluded hot spring 2 days rides away. Okay, so I rode through the mountains of southern British Columbia. They're incredible, the Kootenays, all right? And the first night I camped at the top of this mountain and there was a lake beside it. In the morning, wildflowers bloomed and formed a perfect panorama around the lake. It was incredible. I was so blown away, but I had no one to share it with. Okay, so that happiness is only real when shared. That sat with me. I had also just watched the movie The Secret, though, where you can like manifest the things you want, okay? So I was lonely, so I was like, I'm gonna manifest the girl of my dreams, okay? She's gonna be at that hot spring, okay? She could be biking across Canada. She's gonna be naked, just sort of wading through the water. It's gonna be amazing. This is what I'm visualizing, okay? So I bike 100 kilometers mountainous terrain, very hard. I get a flat tire, I push my bike the last kilometer up the hill, guys. And you know what I found when I got to that hot spring? 5 naked Frenchmen, okay? Happiness is only real when shared, right? Okay? Very giving lovers, that's where I got the HPV. But worth it. Worth it. Totally worth it. Yeah, because capitalism puts you in a weird spot. And we're going to do this story, then a song, and then we have a couple closing jokes, and we'll get out of here. Put you in a really weird spot, because we all have our dreams. You want to be a baseball player, you're a consultant. You got squished by Star Wars, brother. And the hard part is capitalism. You can kind of get what you want, but not quite, because it knows you're for sale. That's what happens to capitalism. You're all for sale in some fashion. That's what it is. You're like, you got to sell yourself in some way. And so in this allegory, you guys are all going to be the beautiful woman, and capitalism is going to be author Bernard Shaw. Okay? So he approaches a girl at a party, and she's gorgeous. He says, you are beautiful. If I gave you $20,000, would you go to bed with me? And she goes, yeah, I would. He says, okay, how about if I gave you 10? And she goes, oh my God, what do you take me for? He says, I think we've established that. We're just negotiating on a price, okay? Because that's what capitalism will do for you, right? Like, I'm like, capitalism, I want to be a comedian. I want to do arenas, theaters. They're like, best we can do is a bike shop. I was like, I'll take it. I fucking take it. I'll take it, capitalism. All right, guys, we're gonna do one more song. I could do it for the Hartman brothers because you can hear those guys with the hearty laugh. They're the sweetest, two of the sweetest guys. What did you guys, Tom? What did you want to be when you grew up? And did you guys fuck each other over? You didn't start a story with each other, did you?
No, I wanted to be a comedian.
You want to be a fuck? All right, just come up. It's easy. It's not that hard. Peter, what did you want to be?
In heaven, I guess.
You want to die? That's not great. Jesus. All right, we got the aspiring comedian Death. All right, we'll see. Shit, let's see what we can get out of this one. Not making my life easy. What chords are the death chords? All right. I aspire to tell dick jokes and I aspire to die. The cool part is if you get on stage and bomb, it's pretty similar. You can die on stage and it feels worse than real death, because at real death at least it's over. But when you bomb on stage, you get to go home and live it over and over. But you guys don't laugh, it hurts me worse than death, that's what I'm telling you. So don't not laugh, please. I feel so blue. The cool part about being a comedian, there's no barrier to entry. You just tell a couple of dick jokes into a microphone, and then you can put that on a resume and not feel so all alone. Peter, yours is a much harder problem to solve because it's a philosophical conundrum. I have neither the evidence nor the denial of it. I don't know what exists after this life, my friend. But Tom, if you want to do an open mic, I can easily do that for you. I can host it really well. Peter, I can't control if you're going to heaven or you're going to hell. But what happens when we die? That thing always haunted me when I did this show. I asked people what they were afraid of, and the one thing I think we all know, we're all afraid to die. We don't know why we're here, and it's just for a little while. It's hard to do anything but try to do it with a little goddamn style. Squish your brother like a Star Destroyer. That's a pretty silent thing to do. Be nice to each other, cause you don't know how much time before you're finally through, guys. These songs never end perfectly, so eventually I just have to stop singing, I'm telling you. You think I have some answers for you, but I got nothing. This show was $20, and then 3 of it went to Eventbrite, because capitalism sucks. Oh, Lord, it sucks. What the fuck are we to do? It breaks your soul, and I think we might be in hell under capitalism. You gotta fix it, Tom. This guy thinks if we elect Kamala, that'll fix it. It's not. Sorry. She's also a hawk. She's slightly better, and she's articulate, and she's not a fascist, but she's part of the military-industrial complex, so... That's our song for Tom. I'm really happy to be back in Montreal, guys. It's a great city, and it's my favorite place because the police here make me laugh. I gotta pick out the perfect guy. Skyven, you would be the perfect Montreal police officer right here because you have to look sexy, but also a little incompetent. Okay, that's the look. That's the look. That's the look we're all. That's the look we're all going for. Because my favorite one is I have a show here, and I don't know if this is allowed. Who knows? But the cops came by one time and thought I might get in trouble, right? And they came by and this all happened. They knocked on the door. Okay. We heard you had a bit of a party here tonight. Is that the case? I was like, yeah, Jean-Francois, we did. He's like, okay, we heard reports of gunshots. You guys have any guns? I went, no. No guns. And he went, okay, have a good night. And he just left. That's why we don't have CSI Montreal. My other favorite run-in is I bike in the winter. Bike in the winter is very fun, but it gets very cold. You got a nice beard. Do you ever get ice in your beard? That's as sexy as you can feel as a man. I'll just stroll into those coffee shops and go, hey, I don't even need anything. I just want you to see this. And on my way, bombing through. So I was bombing through the winter of Montreal, like January, deep, cold winter, and it was brutal. And I blew through a red light, and the police caught me. They said, hey, man, that's a feu rouge. That's a red light. We have to give you a ticket. I said, guys, it's winter. I'm biking. I'm in Montreal. My life is hard enough. And they went, okay, go ahead. That's fine. That would hold up in Canadian court, okay? Now, throughout the show, you guys may have noticed that I had mostly positive interactions with police officers. Because when I interact with a police officer, I have a few key strategies I implement every time I interact with a police officer. You can try them later if you wish. Strategy number 1 is be white. That's pretty much the whole list, but it helps. Honestly, strategy number 2, if you can pull it off, is be rich. And I think you're immune from prosecution, which is why we're never getting that Epstein list. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine, guys. We should have killed them all sooner, but we haven't. But I'll tell you one last thing, and then I get out of here. You guys have been lovely. Thank you for being a part of this recording. I really appreciate it. So I always go to Scotland, and it's super fun. And the police in this Edinburgh Fringe Festival, it's wild. The downtown core goes from 500,000 to 1.5 million. They are exhausted. They don't enforce a lot of rules, okay? So me and a buddy, we may have been a little drunk, and we're biking the wrong way up of a one-way street, okay? Police officer put his hand outside the cop car window, and my buddy just high-fived him. I heard the most tired Scottish man just go, oi! I wanted you to stop. and then I asked my friend, I said, dude, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. You just high-fived a police officer. What gave you the courage to do that? And he said, Dion, I'm fat. I was biking up the hill. I just thought he was encouraging me. So I'm encouraging you guys to keep supporting live shows. Thank you so much for catching this album. My name's Owen. Good night.